In some applications, you might want to display data in pages rather than in a list. You can do this using the ViewPager component. This application includes an example. The main activity class is using this layout file, and the layout file has a single component, an instance of the ViewPager. In the main activity class, after I load that layout file, I'm then using a class named ViewPagerAdapter, and that's defined as a member class down here, and it extends a class named FragmentStatePagerAdapter. All the code is here to provide data to the fragment adapter. Each time the user goes to a new page, an instance of this fragment class is loaded, and the data is displayed. Here's what the application looks like with its default behavior. As the user touches and drags from one side to the next, they're moving from one data element to the next. And they can touch the back button, and that'll take them back through the pages until they get to the end of the back stack, and then they'll exit the application. Now, I'll open the application again, and I'll point out that the animation of moving from side to side is just the default. You can override this animation by creating your own animation classes. These are officially called page transformers. And to create my own transformer, I'll start by creating a new package in my Java directory. I'll right-click on the base package and choose New, Package, and I'll name the new package Transformers. Then I'll right-click on the new package, and I'll create a new Java class, and I'll name it Depth Page Transformer. Then I'll add the implements keyword, and I'll implement an interface named ViewPager.PageTransformer. When I see the squiggly error indicator, I'll use an intention action, pressing Alt or Option and Enter or Return, and I'll choose Implement Methods, and I'll choose the one method, Transform Page. So here's how this works. As the user swipes from side to side, each time something changes in the position of the user's touch, the Transform Page method will be called. It's up to you to look at the page's position and other state and change it. Now, this can take quite a bit of code. So rather than code this from scratch, I'm going to go get some code that I've stored online in a gist on GitHub. I'll go to this URL, git.io/vwl Z5, and that takes me to this gist for the file Depth Page Transformer. I'll select starting with the import statements, and then I'll copy all that code to the clipboard. Then I'll come back here and delete everything after the package declaration, and I'll paste in the code. So let's take a look at what this code is doing. Again, it's implementing this interface, Page Transformer. It's then examining the current alpha, position, and scale of the view, that is, the page, making some assumptions and making some choices, and then resetting all of those states. Each time this method is called, the transparency, position, and size of the page can change. Now, I want to see exactly when this method is being called, so I'm going to add a static final string, and I'll name it tag, and I'll give it a value of page transformer. Then I'll add some logcat output right here, just as I start the method, and I'll output the message transform page. Now I'll go to my main activity class, and I'll go up here to where I'm creating my pager. I'll place the cursor right here after I've gotten the reference to the ViewPager object and before I set the adapter. And I'll add this code, mpager.setPageTransformer, and I see that there are two arguments. The first is a Boolean, asking whether I want to reverse the drawing order when I'm dragging in the other direction. I'll pass in a value of true. And the second argument is an instance of the Page Transformer interface. I'll pass in new Depth Page Transformer. That's my custom class. And that's all I have to do. I'll run the app again, and now watch what happens. I'll click and drag, and as I drag the first page off to the left, the second page appears to grow into place. It's starting off transparent, it's becoming fully opaque, and it's being repositioned and resized. I'll do that a little bit faster, and you can see the full effect. And because I set the reverse property to true, I can drag in the other direction, and I see exactly the same thing happening. The page I'm getting rid of shrinks and becomes more transparent. Now let's see what's going on with that logcat output. I'll filter my logging on page transformer, that was the value of my tag, and I see that this method is being called over and over again. I'll bring back my emulator and move it over here so I can see the output as I drag the pages, and I can see how many times that method is being called. So that's one possible effect, but let's create another version of the transformer. I'll create another new class, and I'm going to name this one Zoom Page Transformer. And once again, I've created a gist where I can go get the code. I'll go to git.io/VWL uppercase G lowercase c. And that expands to this page. And I'll select and copy the code. Then I'll go back to Android Studio, and I'll get rid of everything after the package declaration and paste that in. And I also need the import statement, so I'll go back and copy and paste those as well. And now all the errors go away. Then I'll go back to my main activity class, and I'll replace the call to the depth page transformer with the new zoom page transformer. I'll make sure that I've gotten rid of any dead imports, and then I'll run the app again, and let's see the difference. Now, as I drag the pages back and forth, they're going back to their standard side-to-side sliding motion, but they're also zooming as they move. And again, you can examine this code to see exactly how it's all being done. So, the ViewPager transformations are executed by looking at the current state of the page and then changing it each time that method is called. You may or may not need the ViewPager for your applications, but if you do, this is a nice way of making it compelling and interesting to look at.